This scene of a baby in a sink has an amazing story behind it. Check it out. His skin has turned blood red. Doctors asked not to breastfeed him, but even that didn't help. And she blames topical steroids for worsening the skin condition, which doctors thought was eczema, but Stephanie believes was caused by intolerance to medication. Stephanie said, Isaiah's skin was falling off, like it was melting. It was oozing and weeping into his eyes. It was like he had no skin. He was in agony. At one point it was so bad I thought, if this is going to be his life, please take him. Isaiah, now 2.5, first suffered flares at 3 months old. A rash developed around a cut in his cheek, and after that, his skin became red raw whenever anyone wearing perfume or clothes with fabric softener came close. Doctors said it was probably eczema and advised low-dose, over-the-counter topical steroids. His mom, from Atlanta, Georgia, said, his skin cleared up, but a week later it came back, so we applied more. This went on in a cycle over 2 months. Then his hair started to fall out. He became sick and lethargic. But all doctors I took him to just said it was eczema. They told me to stop breastfeeding him as the milk protein could make it worse. Isaiah was taken to hospital at 5 months old, floppy, red raw, and burning up. Doctors prescribed stronger topical steroids and injected a type of liquid steroids into his scalp. At 5 days in hospital, Isaiah's skin was clearer, but with a bluish tint, and he was smiling again. But within 48 hours, his skin had turned blood red, and lesions and oozing, and he wouldn't stop screaming. Isaiah's skin was so sensitive that the family became reclusive, cutting off contact with anyone from the outside world who might be an infection risk to their son. His only comfort came from bathing in lukewarm water. So Stephanie would spend hours with him in the sink as the tap ran over his skin. They placed surgical gauze on his face, strapped nannies to his hands to stop him scratching the night, and carried cool, damp cloths everywhere they went. Stephanie said we couldn't even hold him. Every time our skin touched his, it would blister and ooze like crazy. I couldn't even touch my cheek to his. We couldn't use towels because they were too rough on his skin. Instead, we used thin cotton sheets. He was most comfortable in the bathtub, with water pouring over him in the sink. But he was still in pain. He would wail and I would cry along. People asked what we had done to our baby. They asked, has he been in a fire? He looked like he had third-degree burns. I once heard a nurse say, you've got to come see this kid. In his buggy, I would put a light pillowcase over him to keep people from gawking. We were pretty much homebound for a year. It was too easy for him to pick up an infection or have a reaction, and I was sick of the stares. The family story echoes that of 5-year-old Morgan Bishop, who heartbreakingly confessed to his parents that he would rather die than endure his agonizing eczema. Stephanie decided to tell of her own experiences spotting Morgan's story, which went viral earlier this year. The Bishop family saw donations on GoFundMe page set up to raise money for pioneering hydrotherapy treatment for Morgan skyrocket from £3,000 to £43,000 after the Mirror Online published their story. When Isaiah was at his worst, Stephanie and husband Nelson, age 36, scoured the internet for help. They eventually found itsan.org, a forum about topical steroid withdrawal. She said, it was all about the side effects of topical steroids and how skin conditions can get worse when you stop using them, said Stephanie. I scrolled through picture after picture of children with skin like Isaiah, red raw skin, flaking off and oozing. Following the mother's instinct, Stephanie stopped applying topical steroids and began to develop her own homeopathic balms. Having made candles in the past, she bought a book on that topic and experimented with oils and bases, trying each on a tiny patch of Isaiah's skin. A blend of lemongrass and zinc applied under gauze worked best. She said, as time went on, we saw patches of clear skin. Isaiah would walk to the kitchen island where I kept the balm, point at the jar and point to his face. It clearly soothed him. I took about 50 photos a day to see the progress, because it could change moment to moment. By October 2014, 10 months after starting to use the balms, Isaiah had smooth, clear skin. Stephanie said, "We still don't know for sure what caused the original contact dermatitis, but looking back, because of severe medical allergies in my family history, I think it might have been a reaction to medication. I had a C-section and was given ibuprofen afterwards, and I believe that was passed on through my breast milk. Every time he was dosed antibiotics, he had a reaction. We saw 35 doctors altogether. They all said it was eczema. I want to show them all the photos showing how Isaiah's skin cleared up. Now he has no allergies and nothing happens if he's near someone wearing perfume. I can wear deodorant again and wash my hair with scented shampoo. He's like any other toddler. He chatters away, runs everywhere, and is into everything. He helps me around the house. He's so sweet-spirited.